Hello, hello. Watching Liverpool against Inter Milan, which I can't stream it because that will be against the copyright law. I'll be commentating. I'll be watching the game. How what? Sorry. I'm well. How are you? Thanks for asking. Liverpool against Inter Milan. We're hoping for a good game. Let's take a look if Liverpool can perform without Mo Salah. Who's going to win, Inter or Liverpool? That is a special place, isn't it? Oh, thank you so much. Watching for 1 year, huh? Hopefully you like the content then. Are you a player? Are you a parent? Coach? Interesting how Inter Milan's got Çalhanoğlu and Mkhitaryan still playing in the midfield. Away? I'm home. I'm home. This is my background here. I'm home in Denver. I'm just watching the game. How about you? Are you watching the game? It's interesting how Konate cannot be dropped. I should be viral. Yeah, I'd love to. Interesting. Vitz is on the bench as well. Are you watching the game? Is anybody watching the game? Who do you think is going to win, Inter or Liverpool? With the current level of performance, I don't see Liverpool really winning it. It could be again, but Champions League is obviously totally different. Um, I mean, the Champions League game against Eindhoven, the previous game wasn't good. But yeah, in these one-off games, you just cannot predict easily. Inter's the favorite, I think. I think just like what Thierry Henry has said, Liverpool need to defend mid block or low block. 1:38 in the morning. Where are we? Are you in Asia or Asia? Whereabouts? Which country? 1:30 in the morning. I'm gonna guess. It's hard to tell. Is it Singapore? Am I close? Maybe Thailand. Not close. Um, Indonesia. It's a good start to Liverpool. Finally get to see Isak and Ekitike starting together, which is honestly what I'm most excited about watching this game. How will these two, known for spice, India, how will these two play together, Isak and Ekitike? So it's more just the way it looks like. It looks like 4-4-2 almost with Diamond in the midfield, with Jones and Soboslai kind of drifting around. Who's my favorite player at the moment? I do like how Ryan Gravenberg plays. Definitely my type of style. But as of now, on Liverpool, Soboslai is definitely performing well. So, fun fact, yeah, Liverpool have not lost a single game when they have scored the first goal, but lost 9 of the 11 where Liverpool have conceded the first. Who's your favorite player? Who's your team? These Italian teams are very difficult to break. They're very pragmatic in terms of the way they approach the games, especially playing 3-5-2. It's interesting shape that Liverpool's keeping when they're defending. It's a mix between almost 4-4-2. But it's definitely the shape of 4-4-2 when they're attacking as well. With Ekitike attacking more from the left side and Isak from the right side, but they're more they would be more centrally positioned with Curtis Jones kind of supporting, floating in the left and right. What are the winning chance of our team? Who's our team? You talking about Madrid winning what? Champions League? I mean, at this rate, Liverpool winning the Champions League is very slim. Inter winning the Champions League will be definitely higher than Liverpool at this rate. Um, but just because, I mean, this game alone, Inter's more likely to win, aren't they? Just home game, and Liverpool are not necessarily playing well. We'll see. That's the beauty of the game, isn't it? You just don't know. The back three is really good though. Akanji, Sherby. Is it Bastoni as well, right? I think. Also nice to see Christian Kivu managing Inter Milan. It's always interesting to see ex players managing their former clubs. Xabi Alonso obviously being one of them, and Arteta. What are the odds of Liverpool scoring the first goal? What do we think? Should be famous, eh? Working on that. Well, some kids will think I'm famous because they see me on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and all that. You know how it is. What I would love to see is Joe Gomez scoring a goal. If Liverpool were not to win this game, I would just love to see Joe Gomez getting a goal. First senior goal of his career. A lot of games he's played as well. Never scored a goal. Hello, how are we? I do play a little bit of guitar, yes. Not great. I used to play a lot over COVID. I used to play a lot of guitar then. Um, but as COVID kind of phased away, so did my guitar. Do you play any instruments? It's been a decent start for Liverpool. So Chanoglu is gonna need a sub. I think he might have pulled his groin. Ah, flute. Interesting. Who's coming on? Zelensky. Yeah, he's done. You see him getting subbed. Wow, only 10 minutes in, first sub coming on. It's always a bummer when you're coming off with an injury early in the game. Been there a few times, hamstrings and all that. Terrible feeling. Do you play at home as well? You still play? or are you just interested in the sports? Do you play? Do you play football? Nice. What position do you play? Love that. I used to play a lot as well. Not anymore. I'm just busy coaching. The thing is, last time I played, I got hurt. Somebody pushed me to the wall, and I hit the back of the head first. That was the last time I played. Right wing. Nice. You must be fast. I wonder what that's like. Are you right-footed? Oh, a bit late that. Nice. It's always nice to be left-footed. That was deep. That was a deep tackle by Martinez. That a bit late as well. But to be fair, Robertson definitely knew that was coming. As a player, when you see that, you know the contact is coming. So essentially, you prepared. So all you do is just timing wise, you put a little contact on the ball, and then you're ready to get out. But looks like by the looks of it, this one just seems to be a little late. Came a little bit deeper than I think Robbo has anticipated. Yeah. Because as a player, a lot of times you know the contact is coming, so you get ready for the impact. Or sometimes because you know the contact is coming, what you do is you leave your foot hanging, draw the foul. Oftentimes players will draw the foul that way to let the yellow card and all that, right? But that one's a little bit deeper than we anticipated for sure. That was extremely deep. It's an incredible servant for Liverpool, Robertson. Great career. Yeah, three teenagers on the bench for Liverpool. It's a shame what's happening with Mo Salah, but he had no rights to come out to the public and say that undermine the manager. No one should be doing that. That should stay within the locker room. Gotta have a chat with the manager, not come out to the public and just absolutely slag him off. Never a good idea. Doesn't matter who you are and what you achieved with the club. You just don't do that. Pretty much the same thing, Obviously, some of you might not remember. It's quite similar to what happened between Alex Ferguson, United, and Roy Keane, right? Never undermine the manager. How good is Ryan Gravenberg? I know. Obviously, he's not as good as last season in terms of performance level, and the team's not doing well, obviously, as we know. But I still think he's got so much to offer to the team. I mean, you take a look at him last year last season when he was playing that role. I mean, absolutely incredible, right? The way he was intercepting the passes and distribute. He's got everything. Pace, he can carry the ball, interceptions, the turns that he does, very dynamic as a six. If he can start to distribute the ball, which is not exactly his forte, but if he can distribute the ball 30 yards, 40 yards, if we can start to see that, I think he's a complete midfielder as well. He's got some goals in him. He can strike the ball pretty decent. But he keeps his passes relatively short on the ground, which is neat. I think suits his playing style. But one thing I'd love to see is Ryan Gravenberch distributing a little bit longer, 30 yards, 40 yards. That's a good ball. I like Jones, right? I like Curtis Jones, but sometimes he just holds on to the ball just a little too long. There's no doubt he's technically really good. Ooh, well done by Jones as well. But again, he just sometimes holds on to the ball just a little longer in moments where the ball needs to be distributed a little bit faster. Again, the game needs to stay in the rhythm, but sometimes he can slow down that rhythm just a bit. He's got that tendency. Strike by Ryan Gravenberch. All done by Gravenberch again. Interception. Turn by Jones. Oh, Liverpool looking good at the moment, keeping things tight in the middle third. That mid block is working, especially when they're committing, 3 to 4 players going forward, because it looks like Jones and McAllister um, committing down the vertical line in the center just a little bit more, keeping it 3 to 4 forwards almost. So when the defensive transition happens, they're ready to defend it immediately. High block, which has been working. Jones off to a good start as well, right? So that rotation between Alexis McAllister and Curtis Jones, I think that's been really effective at the moment. I think it's fair to say, I don't know, 1-1, you think? I'd love to see Liverpool win it, obviously. I think if Liverpool score their first goal, it's 2-0. I'd love to see that 2-0. I'd love to see it. First 20 minutes, Liverpool off to a really good start. Couple of shots on target. Jones looking good. The rotation, again, the rotations are looking good. Good movements. Moving the ball fast, yeah. So again, when you start to move the ball really fast, it becomes really difficult to track. Another corner. Liverpool, I think, are the worst team when it comes to set piece um, in the league. Only scored two. I believe gave away 10, making it -8. 20th place in the league. Not good. Yeah, again, when the games that Liverpool have scored first, they haven't lost this season. So it's that first goal that's really important at the moment. But the way things are going, Liverpool are always giving up that first goal first, yeah? Always conceding first. That's been the story since the start of the season. Ah, it's a terrible pass by Gomez. The Liverpool kit back in the late 80s, I believe, possibly the early 90s. John Barnes used to wear this. Candy, iconic. Candy and crown paints. Yeah, love a good retro. Hmm. Candy and crown paints, right? I also used to have the long sleeves of the '60s when Bill Shankly was the manager. Don't know where that is now. Might have lost it. It's like 100% like heavy cotton. Offside. Yeah, off. If there's one stadium that you'd love to go to, where do you think that would be? Which stadium would you like to attend? Yeah, Inter doesn't look as sharp going forward. Yeah, that's no chance that is a foul. Hand is not even in the face, just grabbing his face and going down. Soft, soft. World Cup 22 in Qatar. I've got no interest in attending one of those stadiums in Qatar. Bernabeu would be amazing. I went to New Camp last season. Obviously, that was the proper one was obviously under construction, so we couldn't get in there. Um, Obviously, the best ground I've been to is Anfield. One of my favorite places is Villa Park. It's like traditional, like standard old English ground. Very good, compact. It's a good stadium. Stamford Bridge, one of the worst places, I think. Etihad is pretty good, new. It's easy to get to. Been there a few times. It's a cool place. Can't be Anfield though. You can't be Anfield. Liverpool slowing down on their gear a little bit. Oh no, pressures on Liverpool now. moving the ball fast. It's all about the rhythm. All about the rhythm. Good defending. Well done. Yeah, that's the best phase of play by Inter so far. That's the one twos around. Go on, give it. That's what one thing we don't really see in the games anymore. Is it 40 yards, 50-yard pings? Love a good ping from the midfielders. Remember when Xabi Alonso and Gerrard were in the midfield? They were pinging balls left and right and center, 30 yards all day. Football was so fun to watch then. Now everything and every team just seems to be playing the same way. What's going on, Gabriel? How are we? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Oh, that's a decent ball by Konate. Bit of 1v1. Oh, that was decent corner. Love that. That was good. The same thing when it comes to like playing out from the back and all that sort of stuff, right? Goalkeeper starts and no, everyone just wants to go and find the midfielder. But then again, like if you can find your striker behind the back line into the space, why don't we do that? I think Acerbi must have pulled his hamstring because he's been holding on to that. But that was decent ball by Konate. A good run by Ekitike as well. Oh, I love that, Gabriel. Brilliant. How is it coming? Are you getting better? Are you improving? Where are you based? Yeah, Acerbi's definitely pulled something. Hamstring, I think. Yeah, he's done. That's two subs for Inter in 30 minutes, two due to the injuries. From their point of view, it blows. It's a huge, huge change. He's done, yeah. Who's that coming on? What advice do I have for players in development for age 15? That's a good question. Well, if I'm going to give you a specific advice, then I would have to know, where you are in terms of your skill set. But around age 15, study the game as much as you can. Now you're getting to the point where Bosnia, good. You must have, pretty good coaching out there. So with that said, I think age 15 to 18, this is the time where you're really looking to study the game tactically, right? In terms of positioning to draw and feel the different rhythm and the tempo of the game. So just study the game as much as you can, and then there's nothing a good amount of repetition cannot fix. Watch the game. Obviously, I know, coming from Bosnia, it's within your culture to watch the game day in day out. So continue to do it and keep training. Technique always comes first. And if you're good enough, oh, that's gonna be a goal. Yes, get in. 1-0. Nah, they're saying handball, but I'm pretty sure that's a goal. Didn't see anything. Looked good to me. Take a look. Ah, looks fine to me. Let's see. Ooh, does it hit Van Dijk's hand? Oh, no, Ekitika's maybe. They might look at that, I think. They might not give it, honestly. When you're trying to do a power shot, you lean backward. Do you N? What's N? You don't necessarily want to lean back. What you want to do is you want to kind of fold yourself, right? So if your body's like this, and if this is your foot or the bottom half of your body and the upper half, what you want to do is as you're striking, you want to fold. You want to get closer to your feet. You want to bring your torso lower, like you're bowing. You need to force yourself to lean forward. I was in my foot position. A lot of oftentimes, many times when you're leaning backwards, it's because of your plant foot. Oftentimes, when your plant foot is behind the ball, you will tend to lean backwards because you're reaching. To try and see where your plant foot goes and make sure it's level with the ball because you don't want it to be falling behind because that's what's gonna have you lean backward. I think it comes off of Ekitike's arm or shoulder, so they might not give it honestly this one, which is pretty unfortunate. I don't think they're gonna give it. Yeah, so a good way to see if your plan foot is good or not is to set the phone or the camera on the side and see from the side angle to see where your plan foot is. Yeah, I mean, the whole phrase "train, don't train." Well, what is it? Um, Work hard. Well, no, work smart, not hard. That only works against idiots, right? You have to work hard and smart. Obviously, you don't want to get to the point where you can't, you know, you're not burning yourself down, right? Because you're doing too much volume physically, right? Obviously, you need to think about how much volume you can do. Um, but yeah, you always have to train as much as you can and study the game. Hmm. Interesting how this is getting seen on the screen. Now that he's seeing it on the screen, what are the odds of this getting called no goal? No, it does come off of Ekitike's arm. Give us a goal. Go on. It's 100% accidental, but the rule book, the law is if it touches your arm and then that if that leads into the goal, whether it is accidental, it doesn't matter, does it? If it touches your hand or arm and leads into the goal, it's a foul. I'll be well happy if he gives us a goal. I don't know why this is so difficult because I don't think he's gonna give it. Yeah. Well, like we all knew that this was a handball, right? Well, how was it so difficult to come to this decision? Like, why did this take so long? That's the thing about, with the VAR when it takes this long, it just kind of cuts the rhythm. So if one team was attacking and they were in, great rhythm for the past maybe 5 minutes or so, this type of delay for about, 3 to 5 minutes, it cuts everything. So the game doesn't flow anymore if you're attacking. So suddenly everything could just shift. 'Cause that rhythm is so important when you're playing at this level, right? See that? Centre back driving forward, bit of skills and taking a shot, getting into the corner. It's the same deal, right? Tempo changes, the rhythm changes. Yeah, the power shots that I produced, I do think it was pretty good, but there are some information I definitely didn't deliver well enough. When I was saying, that your plant foot being a little bit further away, I think there was a point where I might have taken a little bit too far. Um, but that's a mistake on my end. The most important thing, however, is I was trying to point out the width of the plant foot away from the ball because you want to be in an angle. You want your plant foot to be in an angle so you can strike the ball in an angle. You don't want to be too upright. Yeah, the game is shifting to incher side now. Yeah, that's silly that. Again, defending set piece. It's not Liverpool's game at the moment. Been horrible this season. It's a good distance, right? Just outside the penalty box, maybe about what, 24 yards, about there. Yeah, it's a good distance to strike. Oh, 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 that could have gone in. How far off that was. That was decent. It's a good strike. Gabriel, what position do you play then? Are you a striker? Five to go. Left back, right footed. How's your left foot? Any good? Nice. So you're pretty good on the ball then. Love that. You're strong on the left. Good. My left foot was never good. Still not good. I can pass, I can receive. That's really about it. It's for standing essentially. That's one thing I wish I had done when I was younger, working on the non-dominant, the left foot. I wish I was a lot stronger on my left side. Good. That's again. Repetition. There's nothing a good amount of repetition cannot fix. Spend a lot of time on it, you are going to improve. Do you know what I mean? It's scientifically proven that if anybody spends 20 highly concentrated hours, you're gonna see so much improvement. Just 20 hours. That's all it takes. 20 highly concentrated hours of work can change your proficiency in anything. Step out. Your left foot's better. Sorry about that. Oh, everyone's getting sick around here as well. Your left foot is getting better than your right foot. That's amazing. I wish I could say that. Zelensky. Of course I do. Oh, nice. Do you go and watch them? Do you go and watch them often? So what's your goal as a player at the moment? What are you looking to achieve? Do you want to play professionally? Love that. Having a good goal is important. It's not the goal or the destination. That's the goal. You know, it's about your journey, who you become on the way there. So even if you don't get there, which is again, you know, signing a contract to play professionally to make a living out of playing is obviously difficult. But when you have that goal and work for it, it's you know, it's about who you become on the way. Even if you don't make it, you still got great stories to tell. You learn a lot on the way. There's so many generalized skills on the way that you learn, such as you know being disciplined, ethics. But speaking of Bosnia, I used to really like Pjanic. Always liked the way he played. And then when I was playing FM Football Manager back in 2000, for what maybe like 10, 11, I used to always buy Edin Dzeko from Wolfsburg. Unreal, would score so many goals. Great fit by Ekitike. Wow. Bosnia, you know, produced quite a good players, right? I mean, technically, Zlatan Ibrahimovic is also Bosnian. Love that. Have you ever been to Etihad or seen Man City play? What was the biggest team that you've seen play in person? Or maybe the best matchup? I've seen Liverpool, Man City a few times, um, Liverpool, Spurs. No, let's go. How's that a foul? Let's see. Nice, lovely. Is that Dynamo Kiev or in Ukraine? Or Zagreb? Nice. My friend used to play for, I think they're Dynamo as well. Lokomotiv in Russia. Back before you could easily travel to Russia. Not so much nowadays. Didn't Luka Modric, play for Zagreb as well, didn't he? Or was it maybe not? I think he did, didn't he? Dejan Lovren. Yeah. Zagreb is also produced a lot of good players. 4 minutes to go. Oh, did he? Like, seem like Zagreb, when you see in the Champions League, you just again these sort of very difficult to play against. 'Cause it's a hostile environment, right? You compare those teams like Zagreb to teams from England. The stadium environment is totally different. The flares, right? The drums, and make it such a hostile place to go and play. Very difficult. Only half of season in Dynamo. So how many teams are there in the league, the first division in Bosnia? It's decent ball by Jones. Oh, poor touch by Robo. This game slowed down a bit after the VAR call. Ten clubs in Bosnia. Nice. Well, that's just ten clubs in the top flight in the league, yeah, in one league. It's that like the Welsh teams in playing under the English FA, playing in a different, essentially, country. Yeah, obviously promotion relegation. What a save! What a save! Great save. think Liverpool at this rate just needs the first half to end, get back in with fresh minds. We're defending all right, but I think Liverpool just been defending, so I think first half just needs to end. That's a really clever play by McAllister drawing the foul. That's something you know as you get more experience. That's something that you're going to learn how to draw fouls in because you feel the rhythm, right? You want to slow the game down a bit, just see it out. What is it? All right, well, there's the first half. My videos do have lots of variations, but it always comes down to a single or maybe two core moves. What I'm trying to teach is if you understand the core of certain mechanics, then you can come up with your own variations much easier, right? Because one could only teach so many moves, right? One could only remember so many moves as well. So if you learn the simple basics, you can then get on to so many different variations. That's the most important bit because it's all about the mechanics and understanding what the core. Yeah, exactly. Because I only do maybe a skill or two that works for me, right? Exactly. You only do some 2 to 3 max. That is exactly what you need, and then the rest is just quick, just getting out, right? Little variation here, little variation there. But if you look at the way you play, if you truly look back and watch you play, you only do maybe one or two things that that actually matter, and then the rest is just simple variations or forms of it, right? Yeah, exactly. You just come up with different things in the flow. But yeah, I'm pretty sure those are the same things, right? Two, three things that you do really exceptionally well. And when things require, when different things are required in different moments, they just come out. You don't need a whole different thing. Stick to the core, right? Core principles, fundamentals. Simplicity, that's where it is. So we all think Liverpool is going to win, eh? 70-30. Yeah. So wait, is that a question? Can you sometimes think about making like not having to think much when dribbling a player, like dribbling against a player? Yeah, I mean, like, so I think of it this way, right? You can see, so if I do, let's see, right, like, obviously things are like really bright right now, right? But then you can see everything in the back is like that name, Gerard says it's a bit of a blur, right? But then now as I come back, it gets gets clearer and clearer. So I say like this, when it's like blur in the back. So when you look at when you get your finger out, when you look at your thumbnail, everything in the back that you see is a bit of a blur, right? And so what I say is that blur in the background is your subconscious, and that's what you do without having to think. So right now, if you got something that you got to work on, that's your thumbnail. So once you get comfortable at whatever you're working on, you throw it to the background, to your subconscious, and then it just happens, right? You don't have to think about it. So how do we throw this thing to the background where you don't have to think as much? Repetition, deliberate repetition. That's all you need. We need a goal in this game quick in the second half. Is Lookman still playing for Atalanta? I like that. Where I'm watching, which is CBS. I got women's game as well, women's Champions League, which is pretty cool. Oh, great shot. Any questions, guys, in the during the first half? Do we have any questions? Anything you want to say? No, you don't need perfect dribbling, right? What you need is, yeah, what you need is a good execution in terms of timing. That's what you need. You just got to be able to pick the right time to, take the touch to whichever direction that you were trying to go, and obviously the right size and the direction of that touch. But you don't necessarily, always have to go and beat a player. If you can give yourself to protectable and receiving protectable, you will always have a chance to find a solution. So protectable, find a solution, which is something I filmed this morning, which will be posted sometime this week. What's the highest level I've played? Nothing meaningful, just so-called Sunday leagues. Nothing meaningful. I knew playing was never my goal until I was about like maybe 16, 17. But 16, 17, I realized I wasn't good enough to make a living out of playing. So that's when I educated myself to coach. So I've been coaching for 14 years. Playing has never been my goal since that age, or 17, 18. So when I was playing, it's just been essentially Sunday leagues. But educated when it comes to coaching. Have I coached players in the pro? Yes, I have worked with pros, many pros. Yes. Yeah, the first half was decent. maybe the first 30 minutes, Liverpool not necessarily dominating, but playing well against Inter. Last 50 minutes of the first half was a bit rough. I've known you for a long time, and what you do is really helpful. Well, thank you so much for watching. Who do I think will win the Premier League? I think with what's going on now, I think Arsenal are the favourites to win it. Finally, they might say Villa because they're sitting second place at the moment. I would love to see Villa win it, but I think realistically, this might be Arsenal season. Man City obviously always have a good say in it, right? With the way Arsenal's been playing, I think there's a good shout. This might be their year this year. Champions League, I think Bayern's got a good say. Just showing the goal. What's his name from Frankfurt scoring the goal against Barcelona. That's a great goal. Like off. It's a good goal. PSG again. They are good. Imagine, going from never winning the Champions League to winning two in a row. Who do you think is going to win the Champions League? Who's the bottom of the Champions League table? Let's see. Who's underperforming? Ajax. Wow. Lost all 5 games. Villarreal, Slavia Prague, Benfica not doing well either. Only won 1 game. Oh wow, depressing. Is Jose Mourinho done? Is he no longer a top manager? Frankfurt sitting on the 23rd. Liverpool sitting at 12. If they win this one, they might go up to fifth, sixth. What player have I trained that worked the most? Can you say a rough average per day? Like how many hours a day? Like how many sessions a day? I used to train 3 times a day. 7 o'clock or 6 to 7 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock team training session, 7 o'clock individual by myself, 3 times a day. That was when I was maybe like age 8 to like 15. I trained 3 times a day, 6 days a week, game on the weekends. So probably trained about, let's see, 3, 4, about 25 to 25 to 30 hours a week training session, like training. Again, like when you do that much volume, how do you not improve? You know, I I've got an ebook, and in the ebook, on the ebook, I explain where when I was 8, trying to join my school team, the requirement to attend the trial was 100 juggles. I could only do 7, and the tryout was like 5 or 6 days later. So I juggled 5 hours a day, and I got from like doing 7 juggles to over 100 within a week. Age 8, right? That again, that shows it doesn't matter what your age is. It's just repetition. You just got to do it. There's nothing like good amount of repetition cannot fix. We gotta see some goals. We need some goals. Yeah, Inter Milan and AC Milan are getting a new stadium, right? Not sure when the construction begins, but I think they're demolishing San Siro and building a new one, which again then makes it a place where I really need to visit before they demolish it. No chance that is a foul. That is soft. No chance. Martinez absolutely selling it. 1000%. You need to focus on the ball. For game of football is done with the ball, right? If you crap on the ball, you're not a good player. Simple as. Oh, gone. Oh, just need Isak to get going. We need him to start firing. Oh, that's a good flick on. Oh, who's going to score the first goal? Which team? Which player? Good header by Ekitike. Just one thing to kind of watch when you're watching football is the players that are off the ball, right? The players that are coming nearby to the player that is on the ball. Just look at how many times their heads are moving. If you look at top players as they're moving, they're always scanning. Sometimes that could be 1 or 2 seconds, maybe even more. It's just about how much information they collect and what the quality of it is. And that's how you get to move the ball sharper or faster and make a proper soccer decision, right? A double movement there from Soboslai. Yeah, I went to watch. I think it was Chelsea against Everton, and I was watching Andre Gomez quite carefully. This was last season. I went to Stamford Bridge to watch the game. Andrew Gomez came on to the midfield and he kept on losing the ball. And you're just wondering how could a Premier League level midfielder lose the ball that many times? And then I started to count how many times I started to count how many times he was scanning. Very little. And then you come to the conclusion, of course, like he's losing the ball because he's got no information, right? So that's why the scanning part is so important. Ah, that's too cheap. Just giving away foul too cheaply. Yeah, when so that's another one, right? As a player who's playing the pass to another player or to your teammate, and you know that he's going to be under a severe amount of pressure, you draw the foul and try and put a reset on the game. Again, just reading the game, being a little bit clever tactically. And some of it could be quite theatrical, but again, everyone's just trying to gain advantage of some sort. There's that constant drawing of contact and trying to make it a little bit more exaggerated, selling it, right? Again, because it's just about an inch of advantage that you can possibly take, and that might be your edge to win the game. You do whatever you can to win it. The outside. What do we think about Mo Salah being dropped and staying home? What do people think about that? Yes, yeah, yes and no, right? Team wise, you're only training maybe 2, 3 times a week, but players out here, they do a lot of private training sessions. So in a way, yes, and no, right? That's unfortunate. We're still 0-0, bit of 50-50 at the moment. I wish I could just simply share my screen, but against the law. It is a scrappy start. It's a 50-50. Nothing's really developed just yet. The first 5 minutes or 10 minutes. No, kids don't really go and train alone. Players will generally have a private coach the parents pay for. So there's a lot of like one-on-one or small group private training out here in the US. I can't say about Canada because I've never lived there. But in the US, there's a lot of private coaching, one-to-ones to small groups to one coach. There's not enough unorganized, solo training. Kids don't really pick up the ball and just go out to the park to train. That normally doesn't really happen. Which is something I did growing up. You always just go outside, train in the parking lots, hit the ball against the apartment building, and you make a mistake and the ball just rolls under the car, and you have to crawl down and get the ball out, right? And your knees are all scraped, or the hands are all cut. Kids don't know that these days, right? Yeah, it's like any training is good. People ask, when I go out there, what am I meant to do? What are some good exercises or good plans? I'm like, you don't need the plan. You haven't even gone out yet. Go out, just go out and grab your ball, go out and train, and just show up every day first. Peter Sucic, I do not know. Who does he play for? Oh, go on, put him in. Oh, is he? Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Inter's squad. Obviously, I know the starting 11. Starting 11, well, at least most of them. And the truth is, when I was a lot younger, I used to watch like every league, every single game, and then playing like Football Manager, that sort of things. Yeah, that actually helped as well. Like knowing who plays for where, right? Um, but now that I'm not really watching many international leagues other than the Premier League, when it comes to players' names and all that, it's definitely gotten worse. Oh, foul. Oh, nice. So he must be good. He must be really good. Nice. Love that from Kronberg. He's so good at that. Just getting out of the pressure with the direction of first touch. Oh, gets in. Oh. So close. That could have gone in from Bastoni. That could have gone anyway. Good block. Great block. Oh, I don't know how we Alisson was gonna come out. Finally, Van Dijk getting some blocks on. That's a foul. Yep, thank you. It's a very even game so far. 300 passes from both teams with the same type of passing accuracy, 91%. Well done, Curtis Jones. So how many times McAllister's gotten kicked? Start winning some second balls there out of the air. Good thing that pass was overhit. It looked good. I mean, essentially, Liverpool's playing two up top with Isak and Ekitike, but I don't think they've passed the ball to each other. There's like no connection at all. It's just still a dead even game. No real build-ups happening. There's no real change of rhythm. It's just quite constant. It's like they're still trying to figure it out, both teams. Oh, should have put him in. I feel like there's a goal coming within the next 5 minutes. We'll have it. Oh. Is Mo Salah is the problem in LFC. 100%. He should have never ever come out to the public and undermine the manager. No player should ever do that. Doesn't matter who you are or what you achieved. Again, I said it on my Instagram as well. Liverpool in the recent years, with all their success, with under Klopp, with the recruitment, the player oof, the player profile Liverpool have always gone for are the players that had something to prove, right? The teams, the players that play for the teams that were maybe third to maybe sixth, somewhere in that rank, right? That are doing well, just wanted to prove something day in day out. Bobby Firmino being one, right? Sadio Mane being one. Virgil van Dijk coming from Southampton as well, right? A lot of these players are the ones that had something to show, just wanted to prove it day in day out. And I said it same thing with Klopp. Socialistic approach. You want no ego. Players who are looking to work for each other. I mean, look at Bobby Firmino again. I come back to him all the time, but Sadio Mane said it as well. He's the most. I mean, he's definitely gifted, really good, but just selfless, right? Selfless. These are the type of players that Liverpool always had the last years of success. Jordan Henderson, James Milner, right? Fabinho. All these players are the ones that no ego, just wanted to do everything for their teammates. And that was the culture, and that was the recruitment Liverpool were going for all the time. But now that time has changed, and we've seen glimpses of Mo Salah, and the little good strike. Um, Spat between him and Klopp, during the game, not shaking his hand because he's frustrated, or not passing the ball to the game against West Ham, not passing the ball to Sadio Mane. All these things we've seen glimpses of him being, in a way, selfish, right? He's always had that sort of traits, and that we could see from outside, right? And I think this is absolutely showing. And the fact that everyone's saying slot out, how can you treat Mo that way? But everyone's replaceable. Everyone is replaceable. And it's a big transitional period for Liverpool, as you can see, as one can tell, right? Salah's going to go eventually. That's the fact. So with the transition that's happening slowly, or fast, purchasing all these players and spending all this money, transitions are never easy. And he sits for 7 days. We're talking 3 games, but we're talking 7 days that he didn't play, and he's complaining and came out to the public to say all this, which is not right. And I think for that reason, Salah is done with the club, and at worst, he might go. I think he's going to come out and apologize for what he's done. Otherwise, I don't think there's going to be a way back to the club. Always back the manager. I've always been that person. It's just not the Liverpool way to do it. You sack him and then what? Do you know what I mean? Who's gonna come in? Sacking and bringing a new person isn't always the answer. Last year when he won the league, this is what I said to my friends and other colleagues as well. When there's no change within the club in terms of the personnels, okay, yeah, you got a couple players that have left the club, but one coming in, Chiesa didn't really play, so nothing's really changed in terms of ah, in terms of the roster, right? So he's going to have to stick with the system that these players are used to. You can't change everything overnight just because you've walked into that club. You need new personnel if you're going to implement your ideas. Now that new players are coming in and with players leaving, right? You are going to obviously start to implement different ideas because you got different personnels, which is what people don't understand. It's not an easy job. You can all sit here and say he should go, he's the problem. You don't know that, right? And psychologically, we've all experienced that negative things in our lives. when something doesn't go well, different things, follow the lead and they might not go well either, right? You just have to dig deep and find a way out. And it's the same thing that these players are going through. You can't point the blame to specific one person. I think there's multiple layers. Virt's not, getting used to the system and the league and on the foreign soil as well. That's one. Another thing like people don't understand is just because a player is expensive, you expect them to hit the ground and get running, right? I'm not sure if you guys have moved to a different country before. It's not easy. It's not easy, and your whole workplace has changed as well. Isak is the same thing. Having a preseason with your team is so important. So having no preseason at all, because he didn't train with Newcastle, he was essentially excluded from everything. Joined the club very late, end of the transfer saga, right? And he also wasn't fit, injured and all that, right? And when you do come onto the team, your teammates are not performing well either, and the system's changing. So it's multiple negative things, well, not necessarily negative. It's multiple new things that are meant to be being settled, but they all take time. So I just don't think it's right for everyone to kind of jump on the manager and sack him. But think about what he's done for us, last season. People think it's like playing a video game. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not as easy as that. Another thing is, all these players, obviously they try and be smart. They try not to look at social media and all that. But these things, every breath they take is scrutinized. Right. So when you're doing something negatively, it gets picked out and it gets blown up. And that psychologically, just how imagine how difficult that must be. You don't do well for one game, suddenly you feel like you're the scapegoat. I'm pretty sure that's what Mo Salah is feeling, right? But he just didn't have the rights to. Shouldn't have come out to the public and undermine the manager. No chance. Diet's 100% important. Absolutely, you are what you eat. Your genetics load the gun, but your lifestyle triggers it, right? So some people gain weight really easy. I thankfully don't, right? But yeah, diet's very important. I see, especially the Latino kids out here. Unfortunately, they got really either poor diet or poor genetics when it comes to gaining weight, and it shows. Some kids are so overweight; it's incredible. So it's not your fault for having that sort of genetics, but still your problem. You gotta understand your body. Your diet's so important. I don't think Liverpool should be sacking the manager. If United are gonna be holding on to Ruben Amorim, why shouldn't Liverpool? Give the manager the time. Alex Ferguson also had, tough times, mid-tables. So did Klopp. Give him time. Go on. Oh, I'm not a dietitian, so I can't really give an opinion on that. Do what works for you. As long as you feel, feel in energy, or that when you're exercising or playing, that your energy doesn't drop fast, right? Diet and consistency. Whatever works for you, just keep it consistent. Oh, Jesus. What is that? Yeah, shows that swapping out managers is not the way to fix things, right? You're just changing band-aids, you're changing plasters. I mean, look at Forest, look at West Ham, right? They're getting new managers in every week. Every team goes through a spell of poor times. Oh, get him, put him in. Go on, he's in. Oh, a little long. I don't think that was a difficult pass to make. Hit away, Trevi. What's going on? Now Key City. What's going on? Are you watching the game? I'm on 76:56, 7, 8, 77th minute or 78th minute. Still nil-nil. Hoping we see a goal any second. Came pretty close a few times, I think. But honestly, like, regardless of the result, something that I'm more interested in seeing is how this team can be played without Salah. What will this team look like without Salah? That's the biggest thing I'm more like that. I'm more interested in that. The past 6, 7 years, it's been around. The team was built around Salah. So the transition is, with everything that's going on, the team needs to figure out a way to play. So what will that system look like? I think that's another thing, right? Honest lot, obviously, yeah, honestly, they looked better without him the last 3 games, and with him not performing well, and I'm pretty sure Slot he's a top manager. There's no doubt. If you're managing at this level with managing Liverpool, there's no doubt you're a good manager. So as a manager, you must be thinking this transition is going to happen sooner or later. So how will this team be playing without Salah, right? So in a way, I think it's a blessing in disguise. He's basically shooting himself in the foot at the moment, Mo Salah, because the team it gives them an opportunity to find out way the way they are going to be playing with these new players, Isak, Ekitike, Viz, you're going to find a way to get them in, right? So you need to build a system around somebody. The fact that Mo Salah is going to Africa for the next month, it's a great little opportunity for these players to figure out who this team is going to be built around. And I think it should be obviously, given the price tag, it could be Isak, but the way Ekitike is performing, I think it might be him as well. But it needs to be built around someone. And that's where Virts comes in, where he could be that link. He just needs to be settled in. But he could be that great link in the attacking shape. Yes, I'll be doing this a lot more often. Probably with a lot more notice and more preparation as well. Because I do want to go over some of the like tactical board stuff. Oh God. Oh, like I like Bradley as well. Like obviously ex pros have talked about how taking out Trent from Salah's game has hurt Mo Salah, which is true. But the team needs to move on. And Bradley's a totally different player to Trent. Kirkes is another one that has been still trying to figure out what Kirkes is as a player, right? No, I'll be doing different games as well. But if there's a Liverpool game over different games, then I'll probably be doing Liverpool games. Yeah, yeah. I'll do it when I can, right? On the weekends, I've got coaching here locally as well, so not every weekend I can do it, or not every weekdays. But yeah, I'll try and do more of these. I do want to talk about different stuff as well, not just necessarily on the game days. So I could talk about. I'm actually going to talk about like recruitments out here as well, and just different things, different topics. Inter Milan have not drawn a single game this season, which means there might be a goal in the last 10 minutes. But with Inter's early substitutions, I think they've done fairly well. There's the other three last changes coming in. Tomorrow's game. Let me see what I've got tomorrow. Yeah, I'll probably be doing tomorrow as well. Another left back. I don't see it happening anytime soon, unless Kovacic and Mikas. I think will leave at the end of the season. Robertson will probably get another contract, meaning they probably will not be signing another left back. I think. Oh, Man City, Real Madrid is it tomorrow? Yeah, I'll be doing that for sure. I think one thing they need to sign is a centre back. They need to sign a centre back because Konate's contract situation as well. But if Konate's hurt or Van Dijk's hurt, who comes into that position, right? So I do think Joe Gomez is obviously an available option. Maybe Endo, but Endo is not a natural centre half. Yeah, Sucic. Am I pronouncing right, Sucic? Yeah. Cool. What was his name? English centre back. Because he was meant to be coming to Liverpool, and it collapsed, obviously. So it's still an option, right? Because now he's going to come for free if he is. No, I think you should have laid it off to McAllister. Marquee, yeah. Marquee's the one. And then if Salah's going to leave, I think Liverpool do need to look at Semenyo. Semenyo from Bournemouth. I think he's a good player. They're looking at VAR for this, but I mean, there is a pull, but I just don't think that's a penalty. I'll be very surprised if they do give it. They're gonna move on. Yeah, they're not gonna look at that. I'm surprised it's being looked at. But then the fact that the last goal when it got disallowed on the corner, the fact that it took so long, I would not be surprised. Oh, is he gonna look at it? Wow. I mean, good, good. As a Liverpool supporter, yes, absolutely love it. But objectively speaking, when I'm just kind of commentating the game, I'm surprised that this is being looked at. I mean, there's 100%. There's a right. There's that pull. Um, there's that pull. But you can see when he's falling, that is way too late. So he knows he's not going to get to that ball first. So this could go. I think either way. I don't think he's going to give it. I'll be surprised if he does. Let's see. Is he going to give it? I think he might give it. I mean, there was 100% of pull. Thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. Oh, it's a penalty. Get in. And a yellow card. Surprised to see that. Again, I thought it was 40% give it, 60% not give it. Um, yeah, really soft, but there is a pull. There's no doubt, right? It's a relatively strong pull too, but I don't think it was enough to give it a penalty. Happy with that though. But the question is, who's going to be taking this? So what's yeah? I figured. Come on, get in. He's been fantastic this year. I think that's the game. I don't see Liverpool drawing this now unless Konate gives away a penalty. Fantastic penalty as well. They needed this, the results. Slot needs it. We'll take this, right? Slot's gonna take it. I think the next 2, 3 weeks of the results without Salah is going to be huge ones for Arne Slot, whether he stays or not, right? So what does that put into in terms of Champions League table? Still on third. 3 goals in the last 5 games for Soboslai. That's pretty impressive. He's been having a fantastic start of the season, honestly. Right, first half of the season has been fantastic. I think it's a fair score. Liverpool having a better team, but this is where Konate just cannot. Don't be stupid. Do you know what I mean? Again, there's a similar situation to when they were playing Leeds last weekend. With minutes to go, you don't put in Mo Salah when he doesn't defend. This is a like that, and this. These are the types of games where you put Endo, someone who's going to defend, and that's why Soboslai has been such a reliable character in this squad because he runs his socks off, runs like a cocker spaniel, right? Just doesn't stop, up and down. Just honest work ethic. Oh, get in, go on. Oh, well done. Good defending. So look, the game has opened up a bit now that the game's 1-0, right? Inter wants to obviously score, so they do have to be more offensive and open up the game a bit. In which I think, as it opens up, where these might be the situations where Florian Wirtz, Ekitike might shine, just sliding right through the gaps. Well, I think the next question is who plays the right back position for Liverpool next game in the league, because Bradley, I still believe he's still serving his suspension. So Soboslai might just have to fill in again as a right back. Frimpong's not fit, is he? Is he hurt? He's just getting, yeah, cramping a bit, I think. Just make another sub. Get Endo in for McAllister. Definitely needed this goal though, right? See how whole rhythm changes. They're still in a pretty decent position in terms of the table, Champions League table. Sucic is going to score. No chance. Oh no, 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 no. Good. Corner. Yeah, Liverpool are not really good at defending the corners and set piece. Liverpool kept on giving away the goals around this time of the game as well. That's not a good corner. Oh, decent. Wow. Oh, Alisson Becker's so good at playing those. Just think about how many of those that he had throughout his career for Mo Salah. So many. Love that. Two to go. Well done. So that's just like what Bradley did right there. You know the contact is coming, right? You deliberately take that bigger touch, leave your foot hanging, right? Trail it so that we can draw the contact, and it gives you that reset, and you can sit down and take your breather. No, I don't think you would have a bad impact on your original position or your preferred position. It's not like you take, something away from there and put it here. It doesn't work that way, right? You only get either, you grow into that position that you're not, that's not, which is not your preferred position. You don't lose. I don't, it's not like you're playing there week in, week out all the time. So you don't lose it. If it's something you've done throughout your whole career as well, you don't just go about and lose it. Go on, 1 minute to go. One touch. There we go. Oh, now. Oh, incredible how he's still running at that pace. That's why, the diet, the level of fitness is so important because you can only do so many sprints in the game, right? And the quality of the sprints are so important, and how quickly you recover to get back into that quality again. That's the level of fitness that you want to get to. If you can shorten that duration for you to recover well enough to hit that same quality of sprint, that's what you want. And that's how you measure your fitness level. Almost done, almost done. That's gotta be game, surely. Yes. Very good win. Much needed. Szoboszlai again. Fantastic. That was really good. That was really good. All right, guys. Well, I believe there's Man City Madrid tomorrow, right? Am I right? Man City Madrid. Is that right? I think so. Yeah, tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow for that. So enjoy your day or enjoy your evening, wherever you're from. And then we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.